So we've invited Elgin County Town Crier David Phillips to open the event. Mr. Phillips?
Oh, yay! Oh, yay! Oh, yay! Lads and lassies, clansmen all, gather ye round for I have news of great import. I bring greetings from the Ceremonial Heritage Society, staff, and volunteers of Backus-Page House Museum, and the participating reenactors. Cage Mila Falcha, 100,000 welcomes. Colonel Thomas Talbot, settled families from this homeland of Ireland, as well as other subjects loyal to the Crown, including England and Scotland. The clearances forced many a Scot to seek a brighter future for his family here in the New World. A home of tranquility, far away from the haunting memories of bloody battles like the Battle of Culloden. As you will learn this weekend, this bit of history played an important role in Scottish migration to Canada and especially to Elgin County. We encourage you to enjoy the day, the sights, the sounds, as we recreate some of the noteworthy skirmishes of the past. Ask questions, take photos, and let yourself slip back in time as we welcome you to join us on the road to Culloden. God bless our staff, volunteers, and reenactors. God bless clansmen where'er ye be. God save the Queen. Alba Gobla.
I call upon young Alec, the aide-de-camp, to His Royal Highness Prince Charles. Before the portrayals of the tragedies begin, I would ask you two gentlemen to face each other in front of me. Royal Highness. Prince Charles, if you would be so kind as to welcome your gallant foe. Mr. Reed, if you would recognize your foe. And conduct yourselves as gentlemen as you fight this horrendous war that we're about to enter into. Mr. Reed, His Royal Highness Prince Charles Edward Stuart. Your Royal Highness, Mr. Andre Reed, Commander of King's Artillery.
Riding the wine, sir. By all means, we're happy to take your parole after the battle, and happy to share a glass to Culloden. So that's to be determined. I'm very confident in the strength of our force. We're a very solid force behind you. Look forward to meeting you on the field of honor. Likewise.
Thank you, gentlemen. To the folks that are here now, the more that will come during the day, please, if you don't know, ask us. If we don't know, we'll tell you, and we'll find out the truth for you before you go home. We do not do this to glorify war. We do this to bring forth an important part of history that absolutely had an effect on Canada. Enjoy the day, take pictures, ask questions, as the crier said. Enjoy yourselves. Drink lots of water, and we'll see you at the end of the day when the smoke clears. For God, Scotland, and King James, I am Seamus Gunn, your host for the weekend. I bid to you, Slàinte, best wishes, Morantang, thank you very kindly. God save King James.
God save King James!
While the public is gathered, both armies will have inspections over the next few moments. The Army of King James will commence right now if you wish to stay and observe. And then if you really, really have to, you can go to the English camp and see how they do it. But feel free to move in a bit now at this point. And if there's a straggling member of the Scots militia that wants to stick around, that's okay. whiskey there. Hey. One of the advantages of being an older trusted man is the laird of this valley was kind enough to give me this old sheep shoe and bothy for my quarters. I welcome you to step in and have a peek. This would have been the house used by a shepherd when they took the sheep up into the hills for the summer, and this is just about the right size. It might have been made of stone, stacks of flagstone, turfs of sod, and sometimes even wood. But this is the right size. There's room just for a bit of sleep. There's a table in the corner to your right, lantern on top. On the left corner, where the bundle of canvas is, as you make your way around, there would have been a little peat fire in the corner that just rose up through a hole in the ceiling, no chimney. Just enough room to store some food and of course a crock of the creature, whiskey betha, the water of life, whiskey you'd call it. Just enough room to set, smoke a pipe, have a sleep, eat your food, and everything else you have to do in the house you took care of outside. So.
I think for the most part, many of you have done this before, but a number of you are new. So just to kind of explain what we're doing. At the very first time we did this event to try to connect with the reality of what we were doing, because those of us who do live in history, we work very hard to try to portray the lives of the people that were there. But sometimes it's nice to connect with the reality of what happened. And so at the very first event, we had soil from Culloden Moor that someone had kind of donated to the cause, that we would sprinkle to kind of consecrate the ground. And it's a reminder of just the trust that we have to correctly and accurately portray the lives of those that we do. And be they Jacobite or Hanoverian, all had lives, and many fell there. And it's a reminder of the horrors of war. I mean, we know we do this not to glorify war, but to remember and to learn from the histories of war. And there's a saying that probably all of you heard, that those who forget history are doomed to repeat its mistakes. And so we do this to connect, and especially because, you know, the Battle of Culloden Moor was a large scale action. We are going to be portraying a small element of that as well, but it's still, to me, important to remember that. And also we do this as an opportunity to remember those who fought and died there for the cause, something they believed in. But also we do that as an opportunity to remember those who've been part of our ranks, who have fallen in the course of the year as well. One in particular I want to mention is Richard Sherritt, who is Mr. Tidyman, my valet for many years, who fought a valiant battle against cancer, and apparently, as Colonel McFarland was telling me, is now residing in various parts of Scotland.
Quite happily.
Quite happily.
I delivered him myself to various parts of Scotland.
And he got a free trip
2 weeks ago.
So that's one that we remember. Is there anyone else that we would care to remember?
If I may. Sure. Not a friend lost. Mark Hagenbach is a F&I and Rev War reenactor in the States. He's a Williamson by descent. And about a week and a half ago he was in Rome for work, and he had an opportunity to visit the tombs of the Stuarts in the catacombs under the Vatican. He really wanted to be here this weekend. He couldn't make it, so on that day he laid a white rose on Charlie's tomb.
Malcolm McWilliam. Mark? Who's Mark?
Who's Mark?
I don't know this guy by the name Mark. Malcolm McWilliam, we remember that. Of course. Chief of the Clan Chatton. So with that, without any further ado, we will have our soil sprinkling. So Army of King James, take care. Shoulder your fire. Locks. Army of King James, present arms. And as I sprinkle the soil, our pipe will play a pibroch of remembrance. And as I said, it's remembrance ceremonies all over. I think it's appropriate as well. We will remember them. Army of King James, Shoulder file. Locks. So thank you for participating in this ceremony, and I hope that it will help us to connect more with what we'll be doing in this afternoon's action. So thank you again for coming out and for participating. So McLaughlin, you can let your men off. We're done for the morning. Very good. Lifeguards uniform.